It's Liz Hardie here from GO1. Welcome to the September product webinar. We've got an exciting webinar for you today with the release of a number of features that we've been working on for quite a while and some preview of a couple of other coming soon features. For those of you with questions, please feel free to jump in and use the questions area on the webinar, and we will look to either summarise them while we're in flow, or I'll answer them at the end of the session. So what I might do is I might get started now. As I mentioned, we've got a lot of exciting things that have come out this month that we've been working on for a while. Portal content selection, our content creation, sharing and reuse work, the ability to report an issue on GO1 content, as well as a number of specific usability improvements. So we might just jump straight in, I think. So in terms of our portal content selection, what this will do, it'll allow any administrators to control the free, pay-for-use, subscribed and shared content that is visible on their portal via the Explore page. So the primary use case here is that if you've subscribed to Premium and you want to use it, but not all of the content is relevant for your audience, you can use the portal content selection functionality, which is available via portal settings, portal content selection. And in here, you can select a set of content. So as you can see, you can go and just select the free, or just select the subscribed content, or you can select the pay-per-use content. Now, if all three of these are selected, you are unable to use a custom selection. The minute you turn one or more of them off, you're able to use a custom selection. So what we might do is we might go with our subscribed content, and we might also choose a custom selection. Now, to do that, you go to select content. And from here, you can see at the top, this number here tells me how many items I have already in my content, in my custom selection. And you'll see here that it's got 719 of the 177,000. The ones that are in my custom content selection are indicated by a tick here. And I am able to add to my selection by either selecting the item here, like that, and that will update as it goes through. So now you can see there's 722. I can also do a bulk selection, which and then I can use the add to selection, remove for selection capability at the top here. So I can use my tags to filter in this construct. So I might just be interested in seeing the leadership courses. And I might be interested in seeing the leadership courses from 360 training. All right. And if I select add to selection at that point in time, it will add all of the items that are on the page. So I've just added those 16 to my selection as well. And now, as you can see, I have 738 items in my selection. I can navigate back to my menu area using the portal content selection link at the top. And as you can now see, I've got 738 items. Now I do need to select that in order to ensure that it is on. Now there are two items that have been shared with my portal, and we'll talk about sharing shortly. If I didn't want both of those, right, I could then just go and select one of them. Oh, okay. Okay. Obviously, those are probably both in progress somewhere, which is causing that issue. I'll follow up on that one. But I can do the same, use the same process to select content as part of shared content as part of that process as well. Now, when you go back from there into Explore, what this will do is this will actually mean, in addition to any items that I have created myself on the portal, it will also have that 740 items that were then selected as part of that portal content selection. It is important to note that the queuing and indexing, so the way the system works is it actually re-indexes when you add new items to your search catalog. So there can be a little bit of a lag between when the items and when they become added and when they become visible on the portal. The next key feature that we are launching next week is our content sharing feature. Now, this has been in early access for a while, and what this will do is this will allow you to limit the availability of content that you've authored. So it'll allow you to select individual groups or portals that can access the content you've created. It's important to note that if you are sharing an item to another portal, you must be an administrator on that portal as well. The other thing that we've done as part of this is we've modified the creation process a little, so that when you create a new course now, it will not automatically be visible to other users on the portal. By default, it will only be visible to yourself. So as part of the process of this, allows you to effectively have a draft so that you can be working on a course whilst you're, and then not actually have it visible until it's ready to be so. So I will just show you that one. So here is, I'll just use the test resource at the moment. As you can see here with the test resource, there's a little flag here that says it's only available to me. When I click edit, this is actually showing us also the new reuse functionality. So I might just push that test over in there. And I might just put some text. This is a test. Right. Now, when I've finished, what I can do is I can access this share button at the top here. So when I select share, this modal will appear. Now, this gives me the access to share it with the current portal, and people can enroll in it on that portal. So as you can see down the bottom here, it's currently shared with me and with this portal. I can actually just change that to can view versus can enroll if it's something that I want people to access but not create enrollments on. Or I can share this with Natasha as a can enroll. Or I can then just start typing. So let's see what there's a. So you can actually see here other portals are indicated by this little building icon. Individuals are indicated by the person icon, and groups are indicated by the group icon. So we will share it with that group as well. So now you can see that this is shared with 4 groups. That's automatically saved. So I can actually just close that, click done. Yep. Yes, so let's just delete that. Select done. You'll now see that it's actually been shared with a test group for tracking plus 2 others. So that's our content sharing functionality. This is very useful for if you actually have groups. You can actually go through and share with your groups from here, and this will limit the visibility of internally created content. This becomes quite useful when we look at some of the reuse capability that we're talking about, and I might move on to that. Now, you saw a little bit of a brief peek on the reuse content reuse functionality. Now, what the content reuse functionality is actually changed the content creation and editing process, but the objective behind it is that it actually allows you now to either use marketplace and premium content, so subscribe or standalone resources, as well as standalone resources created on your portal in any course that you are editing. So what this means is that you can use, so say you've got a terms and conditions PDF, you could create different onboarding courses and use the same terms and conditions PDF. At the moment, this functionality doesn't include events, but with the new events work that will be coming out next month, it will actually be included at that point in time. So it's available at the moment through early access. If you are using content only, then we would suggest that early access might be an option for you to have a look at this. And once we've got the new events functionality out, we'll be making it more broadly available. So I'll just go through that reuse proposition again. Right. So when I go to create, I can go create a course. Now you'll notice there's a new pop-up. Okay. Now you'll notice that it's got some nice editing in some basic editing in here, and it does a simple lookup for imagery. There you go, create. Okay. Now, the way reuse works is, the way we've done this now is we've split the screen. So rather than scrolling up and down between the page to try and work out where you've added things and everything like that, now you're able to do an edit in the right-hand column. So the structure of the course will be in your left-hand column, and the ability to edit the items in the course is in your right-hand column. Okay. Right, so then I can, now when I add learning, this gives me a couple of options. If I add learning, I can actually go and look for a video. And I can enter the title of a video. Sorry, one second, I've just got a couple of questions popping up. I've got a question that's just popped up. Is there a way of linking to another course within a course that you are creating? In terms of, you can't embed courses within courses. We have the awards structure to allow you to have multiple courses structured within an outcome. You can include external learning items from the marketplace, which are all actually treated as standalone learning items, or you can include standalone learning items from your own site. So the standalone learning items are the ones that when you go create, that sit below the course area. So I'm just actually gonna add some learning here. I'm gonna go with a document. So hopefully this will actually. Okay, so you'll notice here it gives me the option to create the test, right? And and then I can just load from there. So it will take you back into the old view and go from there. So it will actually take you back into parts of the old editing process as part of this, but the overarching structure is covered off. Oh, that was quite big. Okay. Right. And so when you come in now, so you'll notice here that after I've done that name of the module and I've turned that module component off, it lists for me a number of potential reusable items. So in this instance, I can see, oh, well, you know, and I might actually use this analyze key. Now you'll notice that we've gone with a drag and drop model for being able to rearrange the order. And then I might put in, I can also check recently used ones, and I can check popular ones. So we might also put a clear and concise email in there as well. Okay, I've got a question here from Kershaw. If the standalone resources visibility is set to private and you share it to a course with course permission set to a specific group, will the group be able to see that? The short answer is when you save, it will tell you that there is a conflict. So you'll notice when I was doing this just before that it said that there was a conflict with one of my learning items. So for example, if I put this one in and then hit publish, right? Now that's only visible for me. If I actually try and then share it with someone else, it will actually not like it because the visibility of it is different to the visibility of the other items. So no, it actually, it will do a little bit of a validation and check and tell you whether everything has the right level of visibility. Oh, no. It normally would. Maybe those two have actually, they do have the right level of visibility. Now, when you actually do, when you go to create from here, it will actually give you the capacity to bring up existing text items as well as your typing. So the reuse piece, oh, I didn't save it. That's what the problem is. Okay. Having a little bit of a, have to excuse me, guys. I'm quite flu-ridden at the moment. So my brain's not actually working very well at all. So there's an action required there. And yeah, so as you can see here, these three are available there. And if I go back in and continue to edit that, I can continue to edit and add another module or add another item from my list. So the ability to add is both down here as well as up here. So we haven't changed the ability to add from the top menu. What we have done is basically given you the ability to now do in-text editing with inside that basis. Okay. But the key thing here is obviously the items need to be published. So anything that you have visible to you will be able to be seen in this list, but it will not be able to be accessed by others if it's not visible when you go to publish. So that is our content reuse. Was there any other questions on that before we move on to the next one? That one has been quite an asked for feature for a while. It's taken a little while to put it together because as you'll be able to understand, the process of reusing and the ability to have search while you're editing and everything like that made it quite a complex design challenge to solve for us. So it is available in early access, and as I mentioned before, if you are only using content, so you're not using events, then we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to be involved in the early access on this. We're anticipating it would be released more broadly in October. Okay, so one of the other new features, again, that's been asked for a little while is the ability to provide, to comment on a course. So, for example, where are we? Okay. When you go into a course, you are actually now able to report a problem with this course. Now, the types of problems you can report are it's not loading or working, it's got some errors in it, it's inaccurate, or it's inappropriate. Now, these reports get sent straight to our content team, and they will work with the content providers to be able to provide that feedback. So that's the ability to report a problem on a course. Now, that's only available on courses at the moment. It isn't available on standalone learning items. We are looking to make that available on standalone learning items moving forward. The other thing that we're pretty excited about is, you may have noticed whilst I was in the edit course, we've had a lot of feedback that some of the location of some of the icons on pages and the way in which certain things work is a little confusing. So we've done some work to consolidate where icons appear and where you will see actions available. So, for example, our icons will now always appear up here. The ... means more, and you'll find all of those items appearing in a consistent spot. Also, when you go to reports and you have bulk items on reports, you'll actually now, oh, this one doesn't have a bulk item on it. Okay. Where there are bulk menu options, they used to be down the bottom of the page. They're now at the top of the page. So what we've done there is just to try and make it, again, these buttons and the more menu are all in the same spot, and the icons and the bulk actions appear now at the top of the tables. So that was two pieces of feedback that we'd received were a little bit confusing. The other ones were about actions on cards. And so now what you'll see is actions on cards will be displayed on the ... line with all actions available on there. On the list and on the cards, they're available from the same ... menu. So I've got a question from Casey. If I create a course for my portal, can my employees make a comment on the course for me as the administrator to view? There is comments enabled on courses. I will get someone from Casey, if you can provide some further details. I'll get someone from the team to follow up with you on that one. It's not really in the context of the presentation for today, but we'll get someone to come back to you on that. But it is possible to comment and get feedback on learning items within a course. And if you turn discussions on, then employees can comment and have a discussion on the course, yes. So the other things that we've done as part of this month is we've actually now provided the ability for administrators to export data from pivot tables into the XLS format. So to do this, admin. Okay. Okay, so let's say we are. Okay. So now, as you can see, that exports into XLS. Previously, it had not been exporting properly into the XLS format. I'm just opening the XLS file. And as you can see now, it's exported into the XLS in the same format that it was on the screen. Okay. We've also now provided the ability for administrators to be able to re-enroll users in a course. So this is basically for where people are required to complete training on a regular basis. So say you've got an annual sexual harassment training that you need to do. This will actually now allow administrators to select a group of users and re-enroll them in a course that they have already completed. Now, the other thing that we're actually quite excited about is our bulk notifications. So what you can do now is, sorry, one moment. What the bulk notifications does is it actually allows you to, I just need to double check, to select one or more users and create a custom notification for them. Actually, 1 second. Custom notification. Okay. And what I might do is I might actually just find where is she, Leslie? Okay. I've got a question from Glenn about whether there's supposed to be visual content. Do you mean in terms of the ability to type in a notification? Oh, the screen is blank. Okay. Okay. Scott, so Scott's just provided me with a little bit of feedback, Glenn. The screen appears to be working on our end. There may be an issue on your end. I'm sorry. There will be a video of this presentation available to download if you're having troubles viewing it. Okay. Okay. Now, what will happen then is the queuing engine will actually send those notifications to those people, and they will receive the notification that has been flagged there. Because that was me, it actually may not come through. I'll just double check on that. Yeah, so that basically allows you to have notifications from you as the administrator surfaced within your user portals. So, for example, if there was a piece of training that everyone needed to enroll in, like a whole of team brown bag, or an organizational wide strat meeting that people needed to enroll in, you can send out the notifications from there via email or in the application to anyone that you selected in that list, and that works as a bulk action as well. So in October, we're going to be starting early access on our new events functionality. Now, the events functionality is actually addressing a number of usability issues, as well as making it a lot easier to include events in your GO1 courses, and it will have better support for locations as well. We are interested in knowing, part of what we're looking to understand out of EAP and from people that are doing EAP is about whether you would like your events migrated from the existing interface to the new interface. So if you are interested in being part of the early access for our events, we ask that you send us an email at product@go1.com, and we will actually contact you and sign you up for being part and walk you through the process of what it means to be part of early access and make that available to you once it's ready. The other thing that we've got coming in Q4 is some improvements to learner recommendations, which will actually support things like recommending to your learners other courses that people on your portal have done that they've done. So if they've done a course, and then when they've finished that course, it will recommend other courses that people did who had finished that course from your portal. So this is one of these drivers behind increasing engagement from learners on your portal and actually being able to ensure that your content is surfaced effectively. We will also have our developer portal going live, and we'll be looking to release a number of improvements to group management in Q4 as well. So that pretty much wraps it up for me. For product updates, you can go to the GO1 website, What's New, and you'll find a list of the September release notes there. And if you want to get in contact with the product team or you have any ideas, please email us at product@go1.com. We are looking to have an ideas portal available soon. That continues to be a priority for us, and we will get to that hopefully within the next quarter. What I might just do now is open the floor up for any questions, if there are any further questions. Okay, great. We don't appear to have any further questions. If anything comes to mind afterwards, or if you want to re-watch the video, please go to the GO1 website. There should be an email link goes out with your webinar participation. And otherwise, we will see you for our next webinar in October. It's exciting times. We've got some great new stuff coming out then as well. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.